This music is terrible.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it was. I was trying to pick out a song, and everything sounded like a commercial.
we're
Which I
back
thought,
from commercial break.
yeah, like a Home Depot commercial, like just guitars and like boom clap drums, and it was tough to find a song. Um, Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. I've got a guest today.
My name's Johnny. I've been on the show before. We were on last year for some NFL stuff, and happy to be on again this year.
Yeah, I'm glad we figured out how to host a guest. So, um, we're a little bit late to the stream today. Had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna get right into the show. I gotta give a quick NFT update. We're at 47 subscribers out of 50. I'll give away an NFT at 50. Let's get on to the picks and predictions for this week. Johnny, any comments on the Packers and Giants? They're in London.
My only comment is I definitely took the Packers -8. So seeing it right now at 7 points, I feel good. But the Giants do have the ball and are driving, so
Okay.
we'll see.
Okay. I was late to this one. I didn't even know what the spread was. So you're telling me it was 8?
I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay. Yeah, I would have picked Packers. Do you know what the over/under was at? Was it
I
low?
don't. I would guess like a 43, maybe 44.
Okay. So it's
Pretty
like
low.
this drive would probably, oh, not quite make or break someone. Not quite. Yeah, I mean, Bears lost to the Giants last week. Packers, I think they'll start rolling and they'll still end the season with a good record, but probably not a contender.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of these guys. Let's do. So I'm gonna skip that one this week. I've been noticing a trend. I'm about 500 on like all my picks this year. It's really bizarre. I've So at that point, I should just be doing spread bets because there's
Right.
no advantage betting -800 on the team I'm picking. So I should just go with spread bets. First game we got is Pittsburgh taking on Buffalo. I want to pull up the injury report here. We've got looks like some defensive players for the Steelers out. Is TJ Watt done for the year?
I think so, and I think he's doing like some other stuff on his knee as well. So I think he's getting multiple things done.
Okay. And then the Bills, Jamison Crowder and Dawson Knox are out. That's not really a big deal, I don't think. Another wide receiver questionable. I don't know. Kyler, isn't it who's starting at QB for Pittsburgh this week?
Pickett's getting his first start in Buffalo against a top 5 defense. So
The Steelers are playing like some tough games in the next few weeks. It's a rough schedule to throw in Pickett's on. I don't know. I'm going with Buffalo. I think I saw the line just change to -13.5. I'll take Buffalo by 2 scores
oof.
at home. What do you? I mean, are
I
you
think
on
I
the
have to
Pittsburgh?
agree. It's hard to take a team that's a 14-point favorite, but I almost think like who's most likely to get like I don't see the Steelers scoring 30 points. And I
No.
think they're going to need to get to 30 to even be close.
See, I could see a low-scoring slugfest where like the Steelers do make it close, and it's I mean, 2 touchdowns is a lot of points. 14 points to cover. Yeah, I mean, I think the only hope for Pittsburgh to cover is like they're holding Buffalo to less than, yeah, like 21 points, and I don't see Pittsburgh putting up that many points
Right.
against Buffalo. Maybe, I don't know. Do they get to 14?
I think if that's our question, I think you got to take the Bills then.
Yeah.
Is kind of all.
So obviously, if I'm taking Buffalo to cover that spread, I'm taking them on the money line. Over unders 44.5. I took a lot of unders last week and I didn't do that well. Man, but this is a game where it just seems like Pittsburgh's going to struggle to score to me.
Yeah.
But then that's a huge spread to go under.
Right, you're almost hoping for like a 30-13 game or something.
Yeah.
Which I honestly I kind of like that. I'm gonna go 30-13. I'm gonna take the under.
Okay, I'm gonna go under with you. Yeah, I'm not feeling. That wouldn't be like one of my favorite bets though this weekend. Chicago Bears at Minnesota, 7.5 points. I would give Minnesota this line. I think Green Bay was a 10-point line against us at home. Montgomery might be back healthy. He might not be, but I don't think it really matters. I don't know. I think Minnesota, they're going to be, those wide receivers are going to be tough to stop. I'm not too worried about like some of these running backs we've seen kind of, I don't know, they're not as efficient or as productive as you would expect to start the year. So I'm not like super worried about Dalvin Cook, but Jefferson and Thielen, yeah, I think they're going to have a great day against us.
Yeah, and I saw that Jalen Johnson's going to be out for the Bears, so our corners were already a little questionable, and I think not having him out on the field when you're playing against probably one of the best duos of wide receivers is going to be tough.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm also going to take the Vikings. I'm going to take the over just because I just kind of see this as like both teams are able to score in the first half or something like that. So I'm going to take the over, and then obviously I'll take the Vikings on the money line.
Yeah, I could see the Bears putting up a couple of touchdowns in this game. I'm going to go with the over 2, just thinking Minnesota's going to, like, I think this is the game where the Bears have been in some close games to start this year. I think this is maybe a game where it's like, okay, like, this is the measuring stick that it kind of puts us in our place, and we're like, okay, we're in a rebuild.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think these wide receivers are going to be pretty good. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Atlanta without their, I think Cordarrelle might be out for the year.
He's definitely on IR, so he's out for at least 4 weeks. I think is
no Pitts either. Kyle Pitts. Atlanta's in rough shape, and I think the Buccaneers, they were really clicking last week. Their offense was that on against Kansas City?
They lost against Kansas City, but I think in the second half they kind of started to at least figure it out.
Yeah, put up 31 points here against Kansas City. Obviously, Mike Evans looked good. Chris Godwin's playing today. He's back. I'm not sure about Julio. I think that's a dude you just kind of hope you have healthy for the postseason. So I'm going to roll with Tampa this week. With the line at -10, and same with the last game at 7.5. I like to tickle them to like -6.5 and -9.5, just so like that 10 points covers it, the touchdown and field goal, but I don't know. And the over-unders at 46. I'm going to actually go over, I think, in this game. But I don't know. I'm kind of... Is Atlanta going to be good at all?
I'm picking the Bucks as well, -10. I'm taking the under. I don't know if Atlanta's going to score because they run the ball, and Tampa Bay is historically one of the best run defenses in the league.
Very stout, yeah.
And the only weapon on the Falcons is Drake London with a little Zacchaeus, and Tampa Bay's corners have played really well this year besides last week. So I'm going to take the under in a 10-point spread game. And then obviously I'll take Tampa Bay on the money line.
Okay. Yeah. Who's Atlanta's coach?
I do not know.
I'll say this about Atlanta. They've surprised me a little bit this year. How big win against the Browns last week. They're 2-2 on the year. I didn't give them a chance to start off the season 2-2. I think they played they're in a tough division. Well, what I perceive to be a tough division, especially before the year. You thought the New Orleans would be improved significantly. Tampa. Who else is in that? Carolina,
who's underperformed as well.
Yeah, I think they've underperformed. I would have expected Atlanta to be in the water. So I'll go with Tampa Bay on the money line then too. But we've got we're disagreeing with each other. Are you writing down your picks, by the way?
Oh, for the most part, yes.
Yeah, if you know them, just send them to me, and we can do a little scoreboard too. I can add nice graphics on here. The next game we've got is the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Let's see if anyone in the chat is chimed in here. No, nothing yet. Los Angeles Chargers at the Cleveland Browns. Chargers are 2-point favorites. Over under 47.5. I love the Chargers here. I think Cleveland is. I'm a fan of their offense. I think once they get Deshaun in there, more of like a pocket passer and a playmaker, I think they could be really dangerous and dynamic. Maybe add another receiving threat down the line, but Cleveland's only path to victory is defense and running the ball. I believe Myles Garrett is going to be out for a while. Is he still out?
I'm not sure. I think Clowney is good to go, but I don't know about... I think Garrett might actually be fine. I think he practiced this week.
Holy shit.
After
the car's totaled, but Myles Garrett's like no big deal.
Totally fine. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless, I just think I like the Chargers offense better. I think the defense is not as good as I thought it was going to be. But they're still, they have pieces to make you go nuts. The pass rush is really dangerous and good. So I'm going with the Chargers here. I really like the Chargers in this game. I think minus 125 money line. 2 points, whatever, on the spread. Over-unders at 47.5. I'm going to go over here. I think Chubb or whoever is running the ball, they can find the end zone a couple times. Like I said, the Chargers defense just hasn't been great so far. What do you like on the over-under line?
Yeah, I'm actually agreeing with you on both sides of this. I'm taking the Chargers -2. I like seeing a -2 line instead of like a -3, kind of like what you were talking about before. And then I also like the over. I think both of these defenses came into the year and were like, oh, they're going to be really good. And since then, they haven't really come out as hot.
Yeah, just looking at like the Browns against the Falcons last week, if you're giving up 23 points to the Falcons, that's not good. And then the week prior, that was, week 2, I think it was. Yeah, the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
And I think the Browns were only 1-point favorites in that game, and I was like, I love the Browns line. Like, in this line, that was a brutal loss. So,
right.
The Browns, I think there's a lot to be desired with how they're closing out their games and stuff. So, I'm a fan of Detroit. We've got Detroit in New England taking on the Patriots. I'm a fan of what Detroit's got going on. But they're injured right now. They're 2.5-point dogs. Over-unders at 46.5. Let's take a look at the injury report for this one. Mac Jones is doubtful, so we've got Hoyer at QB. Not sure if Jacoby Myers is going to be back, but I picture the Patriots more of like a running team at this point. Risk averse, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
For the Lions, Swift's out. I mean, if Amon is out, that's a big hit, but they can still put up points.
Yeah, I think Amon-Ra is going to be in playing. This is tricky because I see everything in my head tells me that the Patriots are going to come out and be up at halftime, but then as we saw last week with the Lions, they just scored like 30 points in the second half. So it's like I almost like just taking the Patriots in the first half and then leaving it at that. But I guess with that logic, I'll say Patriots. I'll take them -2.5. I'm going to take the under. I think Belichick and team will be able to kind of control Goff and at least keep him out of the end zone, maybe keep him to field goals. And then I'll take Patriots money line.
I think I'm going to go with Detroit here. I'm going to go opposite of you. Yeah, I like what you said there. I think that was interesting. Like, go Patriots first half and then Detroit like second half, because I think Detroit just, for some reason, they can put up points. And I don't think they can really stop their opponents. But I think I just like Detroit as the underdog here, their ability to put up points. Now the line just changed. Detroit's +3. But you can have them at 2.5. Yeah, I'm going to just go with Detroit. I've had fun watching them. I'm a fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go over 46.5. I think, yeah, just both offenses are going to be given the defense fits today.
Yeah.
Next game we've got is Houston taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I need a lock. I need a lock in the 1 o'clock games or my wife is kicking me out. That's what Gino Z says. We just were talking about it, Gino. We like the Chargers today, -2.5. We haven't gotten through all the noon games. I think there's a couple more here, like Tennessee I see. I like a lot. We'll get through them. Houston at Jacksonville. Houston is +7. Over-unders at 43.5. +270. Let's peep at the injury report here. I wish there should be like a rule. Everything like with professional sports needs to be listed out in the same order. Mm-hmm. Like no matter where you go.
Yeah, I get that. It's hard to follow through and see it all.
So for the Texans, looks like some offensive players are out. I don't even know if there's a star on the Texans to be concerned about being out. Maybe Brandon Cooks. You'd be like, ooh. Zay Jones is out. I don't know. Yeah, no one's really out for the Jaguars. I've been impressed with the Jaguars this year. I don't think they're like contenders quite yet. But I'm impressed with them. I like Jacksonville here. I would probably tickle that line from 7 down to 6.5, but I'll take them at 7 here. Over under is 43.5. I'm gonna go with the over. I think both teams can find the end zone. I don't think it's like a really high quality matchup. I like Jacksonville to put up a lot of points, I would say, in this game. And then I think Houston can find the end zone a couple times. So I'm going to go with over 43.5.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go the opposite all around. I think I envision this game where like Houston's just able to keep it close, kind of throughout, and I don't know if while Jacksonville was able to blow out like the Colts earlier in the year, I don't know if I'm ready to say like, hey, they're a legitimate contender in that division, especially after 2 years of being the worst team in the NFL. So for that, I'm going to go with Houston, who very well could be the worst team in the NFL this year. But then I'm also going to go with the under. I think just kind of a bruiser type game with Lovie Smith calling the plays and being able to kind of envision what Doug Peterson is going for on the other sideline. So I kind of see this one being close, low scoring. And for that reason, I kind of like the Texans to cover the 7.
Okay, I like that. And you said the under, and then money line. Do you still like Jacksonville to win, or?
Yeah, I think ultimately, like, I got to expect Jacksonville to win this game. But yeah, I think keeping it close overall.
Yeah, I like that. The next game, we've got Tennessee at Washington taking on the Commanders. Tennessee is the 1-point favorite in this game. Over-unders at 43. Does Washington have a win this year?
I think they have won maybe week 1.
Yeah, they do have a win. Was that the Colts they beat? When the Colts were struggling, or?
I don't know who they beat.
Washington. Oh, they beat the Jaguars.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, in this game, I really like Tennessee. I don't really think I don't want to overthink this too much. I think Tennessee's ability to run the ball, Tannehill, I like to be more risk averse than Carson Wentz, who's just subject to coughing the ball up a little bit and the interception side. I think Tennessee's defense is good. The line's at 43, and I don't think either offense is particularly great, but I am going to go over 43 in this game. I just think it's low. It's just too low scoring. I don't know. But I'm going with Tennessee in this. Derrick Henry, he's having a big day, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the over too. I think if Tennessee gets up, you can just expect an air raid from the Commanders. I think it's hard to bet on the Commanders just when like you can expect like a couple turnovers. It's the same thing with like the Giants and like some of those other teams where it's like you can expect to see some turnovers. So for that reason, I think I'm going to stick with the Titans because I just think it's easier to bet on the Titans. It's easier to be confident in them. So yeah, I'm going to go Titans -1, Titans money line, and the over 43.
Giants tied it up. It's 2020. And do they have the ball or did they just score?
I think they have the ball and they're in the red zone again.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Next game we've got on the schedule is the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. Zach Wilson is back. Miami dealing with some potential injuries, I think, today. Let's find their line. Or their injury report. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, Tua should be out for a little while, I think. Is it Art? Who's their backup? Oh, Teddy Bridgewater, right?
Bridgewater, yep.
Yeah, I mean, if Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are healthy, I think that's... I trust Teddy Bridgewater to get them the ball and score some points, but I think this is and it's in Miami. No, it's in New York. It's in New York. Damn. I was going to say if it was in Miami, I would love them. Just watching the Bills players cramp up on the sidelines in the noon game. I'll go with Miami here. I think the Jets are pretty good, but I think Miami's defense is respectable. I'm assuming Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are healthy in this game. And I can see Miami scoring the ball pretty effectively against the Jets. I think I'm a fan of Miami this year, especially when Tua's healthy, running the offense. But yeah, I'll go with Miami in this game.
Yeah, I'm going with Miami as well. I think I was able to get them at 2.5 instead of 3, but I still with 3. This is probably one of those picks that I'm most confident in this week. I think there's a lot of hype around the Jets just because they got that win last week. But that win was against the Steelers, who are now 14-point underdogs to the Bills. So I don't really know if that win was that impressive. I think Miami's able to get some pressure on Zach Wilson. I'm going to take the over, but I kind of see this being a big Dolphins game where Tyreek and Waddle can just kind of go crazy. So
yeah, does your pick change if like wide receivers aren't healthy? Or
I saw that they're supposed to be active.
Okay.
Or they are active. So
okay, that's good. Yeah, I didn't say my over/under pick. I like the over as well in this game. I think the Jets' offense is pretty respectable too. Pretty good. Seattle Seahawks at New Orleans in the Superdome. I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like, I don't think I'd want to bet on Andy Dalton and the New Orleans Saints ever, but it's like a bad team on the road in the Superdome. Let's check the Saints injury report. The Saints have been really underwhelming, I think, this year. I don't know why I expected like Jameis Winston to be not only healthy for the whole year, but like good in any capacity. Michael Thomas is out. I think Jarvis is supposed to play today, but they've also got a rookie, Olave. Kamara's banged up. Man, this to me, like, as much as I want to take the Seahawks to cover, it's just like a weird line. And I think it's a tough game to win for a team like the Seahawks on the road. I'll go with the Saints here. I'm going to go under 45 points. I think Seattle's offense comes back down to earth, and they're not... Like, it's been impressive, I will say. Geno Smith, what he's... It's kind of funny to compare that to what's going on in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go New Orleans here. Cover the 5. I'll go under 45. New Orleans money line. How about you, John?
I'm actually going to go all the same across the board. So I think, Saints have kind of come out to a slow start, and I definitely thought they were going to be better. I like Olave. I think he should be due for a big game today. And then another thing was Alvin Kamara. I saw one of his prop bets was like receptions for the game over 3.5, and I definitely took that because I feel like with Andy Dalton, watching him last year with the Bears and watching him even with the Bengals, like he would check down to your Gio Bernards or your David Montgomerys of the world, like whenever a guy's not open. So I kind of like just, even if it's for 10 yards, I could see Kamara getting 4 catches, no problem.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the Saints. -5. I kind of wish it was like 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to take the Saints, and I'm going to take the under as well. I kind of see this Saints defense being good against the Seahawks kind of target funnel that they have. So
yeah, I agree. We've got the 49ers at Carolina taking on the Panthers. Over-under is 40 points. I think I learned my lesson. Well, I think the Bears game was 38, and I tried to take the over, just like forcing, points to be scored on one side. Carolina's bad. Like, the offense is bad. They're not scoring points. They have great weapons, in my opinion. maybe McCaffrey's not what he was, but I'm loving San Fran here. 6.5 points. I think I'm gonna go over 40 simply because it's such a low over under, and I do think the 49ers can, like, sometimes the 49ers, they, like, the 49ers and the Bills, like, historically they've been teams where sometimes I look at the scoreboards of their games and I'm like, what the fuck is their problem? They're up like 48-6 or something in the red zone, like looking to score again. I could see something like that happening today, but I mean, you don't want to make that assumption, but I'll go over 40 just because it's low. It's a low point total.
Yeah. I think I've learned from watching Iowa football every year that the under is, even when it's at 35, it's like, yeah, you should probably hit the under on this game, including yesterday when the game ended 9-6.
Yeah.
Iowa, Illinois. So, for that reason, I'm going to ride with it. I'm going to say it's going to go under 40. I know it's low, but I also have little confidence in both of these offenses. That said, my little confidence that I do have is in the 49ers. So I like them. I'm happy it's at 6.5 and not 7. But I think, offensively, this is a similar offense to what the 49ers had last year, and they were able to make, the NFC Championship. So I'm going to go with the 49ers. I'm going to go with a -6.5, and I'm going to, for some reason, take the under.
Okay. No, I like that. This is our highest scoring game, I think. Oh, besides tomorrow. But Philadelphia Eagles at Arizona. Eagles only undefeated team, right? 4-0. Favorites in this game, 5 points. Over-unders, 48.5 points. There's something scary about Kyler Murray to me in this spot. I think the Eagles are like a way better team. I think they run the ball like better than anyone in the league right now. Their O-line's great in the run setting. Dangerous wide receivers. Love everything about the Eagles. It's just like I see Kyler Murray like in a close game with these guys, like maybe a field goal game. Like I have to go with Philly on the money line, and I seldomly do this where I flip flop like the spread and the money line pick, but I'm rolling with Arizona. This week, did Arizona win last week? They were one of my lock picks for last week, and I loved the line last week. Yeah, Arizona. I'm going Arizona to cover the 5 points. I'll go with Philly on the money line, and then the over-under at 48.5. I mean, that's a lot, but I'm going to go over 48.5.
Yeah, I can definitely see this game turning into a shootout just with, you have two quarterbacks that are never giving up on any plays. So definitely should be a fun game to watch. Probably the most exciting game to watch, I would say, of the day, maybe besides Sunday night. But I think this should be a really fun game to watch. I also just want it to hit the over. I just want to see a lot of points scored, so I'm going to go with the over. I think a stat is the Cardinals are like bottom 5 in first half scoring and like number 1 or top 5 in second half scoring. So definitely a team that like comes out a little slow, but then picks it up in the second half, at least through 4 weeks. So I'm going to take the Cardinals as well, but I have a feeling that it's not going to look pretty after the first quarter. So I'm going to take Cardinals -5 or +5. I'll take the over, and then you know what? We'll say the Cardinals are going to win this. We'll say the Cardinals are going to win the game due to a very strong second half.
Handing the Eagles their first loss.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Dallas Cowboys at the Rams. Dallas 5-point underdogs. Over unders low at 42. You know, I mean, it's circumstance, right? Preseason, you would have never guessed a 42-point line between these two teams, but got to keep an eye on, see if CeeDee Lamb's going to be healthy, see if Pollard's going to be healthy. I think if CeeDee Lamb and Pollard are out, those are like arguably Dallas's two best weapons at this point offensively, and I think I would really start to favor the Rams in that scenario and be pounding that minus 5-point line. The Rams have been not great offensively, and Dallas has a really good defense. I think I gotta go Rams here. But I'm not like super confident in the pick just based on what I've seen from Stafford in this offense so far. I'm gonna go with Rams, and I'm gonna just like hope that the offense bounces back and stuff looks functional again and the defense performs well. Over unders 42 points. I'm gonna go under 42. I don't know. There's so many teams I feel like that could use a running back like Montgomery on their roster. Like the Rams are a great example. I think they're like, just to be able to run the ball effectively, this team would benefit a lot. I still think they're the better team right now. But yeah, I'm definitely not like crazy confident in a Rams pick.
Yeah, I definitely agree with your point though about in the preseason you would have guessed this over under would have been in the 50s, just with how prolific both offenses are. But I think we saw last week that there's so many ways that the Rams were able to be blitzed on and beaten in Monday night against the 49ers, which granted the 49ers always have their number. But you have Micah Parsons in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if he has 3 sacks with how easily he can get to the quarterback in general, and this Rams offensive line looks bad. That said, I still like the Rams because I'm going to ride with a quarterback that won a Super Bowl last year rather than a guy that, while being undefeated in his career...
Undefeated.
He is undefeated, but I just don't know if I'm going to say, oh yeah, he's better than Stafford. So I'll take the Rams minus 5.
Yeah,
I'm really flipping on this over-under because there's some big cornerback matchups. You have CeeDee Lamb's going to get matched up with probably that Kendricks guy from the Rams, and then because Jalen Ramsey's been playing that floater role, so I think Noah Brown could have a good game. Next for the Rams, you got Trayvon Diggs matching up with probably Allen Robinson because I don't think they'll have him run around the field with Cooper Kupp. So I could see still, I mean, when isn't he going to have a good game? But I could see Cooper Kupp having a really explosive game again. But yeah, I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to go under, and I'll go Rams money line.
I feel like Diggs would be so bad to put on Cooper Kupp just because of how aggressive he is. Cooper Kupp would he's too shifty almost but yeah, I like a lot of the points you made. Did you say the under 42?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Not much confidence there though.
Yeah, yeah, not a whole lot of confidence in the over-under. Cincinnati Bengals, Sunday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens. Let's go ahead and end our poll here. I don't know if we had any votes. 67% in favor of the Bengals, actually.
Weird.
We had 3 votes. So let's check the injury report heading into this one. So Cincinnati's 3-point underdog on the road. Over-unders at 47.5. Man. Baltimore's had some bad losses, right?
They had the kind of unlucky loss last week to the Bills by 3.
Yeah, unlucky. Then like a brutal loss in week 2, right, to the Dolphins,
Yeah,
where they were
blew
up
like a
like 14 in the fourth quarter, or maybe more
yeah.
than that, and lost that game. I think this should be a fun game. Let's start with my over/under pick of over 47.5 points. Um, I gotta roll with Baltimore at home. Oh, there was a trend for primetime football. I've been doing this trend where I've been taking the unders, and it's been working really well. Primetime under, but it didn't work last Sunday night. That was Kansas City and Tampa Bay. So I think it's got to be kind of, you got to assess the quality of the opponents here. Cincinnati's probably one of those teams that they've been a slow starting team this year. Better second half team than first half, and I would say Baltimore Ravens are kind of opposite. Better first team than second half. Just given the way they've lost games. I'll go Baltimore 3.5. They're gonna cover, 3. I'll probably tickle it down to 2 if I do bet on this game, and I'll take Baltimore on the money line. I don't know if this is probably the 2 best teams in the division, I would say.
Yeah, I mean they're both 2-2, but I think no one really thinks the Browns are really. I think the Browns are also 2-2, and no one really is like giving them the hey, yeah, you deserve to be top of the division. So I think it's between these 2 teams for the division for sure.
Yeah. Who do you like in this game?
I think you're talking about it. I like the over. I think both these teams are definitely able to score and have some holes on defense. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. Kind of a gut play. The reason for this, I think the secondary on Baltimore has just been like pretty historically bad. And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle both got like 200 yards against them. And now you play Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I think while the Bengals can't run the ball for more than a yard a carry, I think those 3 wide receivers could kind of go crazy tonight and find some holes. And for that, I'm going to take the Bengals +3. I like them I like the kind of coin toss for this game. So I'll take the team that's getting some points. But then I'm going to go with the over as well, just because I want to see some points scored.
No, that's a good point. It is like a pick'em, a true pick'em. I think it's, I think, well, regardless of what happens in this game, I think the line will look very similar the next time they play each other. Yeah, and it's prime time Joey Burrows. Primetime Joe Burrows is scary.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. Monday night, we've got the Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Over-unders at 51.5 points. That's crazy. Is it crazy, John? I think it's crazy. I'm gonna go Kansas City to cover the 7 points. They're at home. That over-under is ridiculous. I think I'm going to have to go over. I think I'm breaking all sorts of trends this week, taking the primetime overs, but I'm going to go over in this game. I don't think the Raiders that offense looks very good at this point, but even Tampa was kind of able to figure things out mid-game against Kansas City and how to move the ball. Kansas City's defense hasn't been particularly good. Colts beat them. Kind of figured things out against them. It's just like a lot of teams are figuring out their offenses against Kansas City.
Yeah.
Oh, Giants are up.
Yeah, Giants are probably going to win. They got the ball with like a minute left, so.
Yeah. Wow. So what are you thinking about the line and the spread?
I mean, I think the 51.5 is certainly high, but I think kind of as we saw last week with the Bucks, or the Bucks and the Chiefs, I think both these teams are able to score, and I don't think the defenses have necessarily clicked as much as we thought they would have by this point in the year. I think the corners for the Raiders can be exposed, and then I also think for the Chiefs, you're able to just, as long as your quarterback's willing to nickel and dime down the field, then I think you should be good. And I think Derek Carr is able to do that, especially with the kind of short weapons that he has in Renfro and Devontae. So I like the over, I guess.
I have a quick question. Do you ever look at game lines and do you ever see the over under they give you and you're like, nah, screw that? If you Tampa, Kansas City last week, look at that, plus 394. I mean, that's the highest possible over under total. They put up 72, and that's what I took the under in that game, and I was just at halftime, just
it's already at the over.
Just amazed at the number of points that were being put up, and I don't know, it always just if you think there's going to be some crazy games, why not tickle that?
Right, for sure.
I don't know if this is the game to do it with, but just was throwing that out there. Sorry. You like
No, I think that's valid for sure.
Is Renfro healthy?
I think he's supposed to play this week.
Yeah, it looks like he's not. Yeah, he's not on the injury report. Juju's questionable, but he hasn't been used as much as I thought he would be.
Yeah, he hasn't been used much. I don't really know if he's moving the needle too much. I'm going to take the over. I just think both offenses are going to be able to score as long as the quarterbacks stay patient. I'm not trying to get 60-yard plays every play. And then I will also... It's hard to bet against the Chiefs, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs -7 as well. I just think it's hard to bet against them with how good they looked against the Bucks, and I don't think this Raiders team is necessarily clicking on either side of the ball right now, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like the picks. We got to do a quick Thursday night one. Let's just the Thursday night. Whoever slates the Thursday night games is the most incredible person at making just bad matchups.
Yeah, it's horrible matchups. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna go Chicago as the home team and under 40 points.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that logic. I'm gonna go. You went with the under.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the opposite, just because I'm gonna go with, the Commanders are gonna score 27 points and the Bears can score 24, maybe something like that, or 20.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the over, and I'll go with the Commanders -1.
What did the Bears do that week against Houston?
They put up a decent amount.
23? Was that?
Yeah.
23 to 20, that would be over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
40.
Yeah,
so maybe something like that is what I'm banking on.
It's not a crazy score by any means. So I'm just continuing to ride the under primetime trends. I do want to share real quick a DraftKings daily fantasy lineup with you, Johnny. Get your input on this. I like to look at the over-unders in games, and I think it's kind of fun to target those players, if that makes sense. Players in that game. So I'm trying to save money. Went with Zach Wilson at QB. The Jets are taking on, who did we say?
Dolphins.
Oh, Dolphins, yeah. Just anticipate him being down, having to throw the ball. Took Garrett Wilson from the Jets too. Why? Just because he fit the salary that was left. I'm rolling with Hawkinson. Monster game last week. What do you think? I could take Brown, I think, instead of Gallup. Gallup's back for the Cowboys, and I know you said you thought Brown could have a big day.
I'm going to be honest. I think I like the Gallup pick more. I kind of forgot that he was back already, even though I think he's been back for like a week or two. And I think he did well last week. So
he had a touchdown on like 3 targets, 2 catches, and one was a touchdown. So, I mean, I'm also kind of watching CD, I guess, to make sure he's healthy. Going with Marquise Brown. Wanted to get a player from that Philly and Arizona game. I could see Arizona being down and Marcus Brown being a big part of what they're trying to do. Going with Mike Williams just on account of Keenan Allen being out. Yep. And I think the Chargers have a good game today. I don't know. And then Cowboys, just, I try to think of like 2 things with fantasy lineups, like who makes sense to like play, and then like who are other people not going to play, like from a I'm going for more boom and bust as opposed to high floors in the tournaments. I don't know, what do you think? Did you do any?
I did not, but I like that strategy of like, hey, I want to get a combination that not many people are going to have, so that if Mike Williams, he probably is pretty popular today, but like, say Mike Williams puts up 30 points and then Gallup gets 20, it's like, oh, I got a combination that very few people are going to have, or something like that. So
yeah, and it's like I could take Mike Williams or like AJ Brown, but then, and I found myself trying to make a lineup with like all Eagles and Arizona players, and I just didn't like how it was looking. I don't know, but this is my first lineup. I'll probably do some afternoon ones. Real quick, let's highlight some of the game lines we really liked, and then we'll sign off. So I can go first here. I liked our picks on. I like the Chargers today a lot. I like Tennessee today a lot. I like Miami. I like San Francisco a lot on the road. And like, I would say I like Kansas City tomorrow night a lot. And I'm focusing on the spreads when I'm saying this. Like, those 5 games are probably like games that I would consider, like, I'm not gonna parlay all 5 of them, but maybe a couple of them together I would parlay.
Yeah. I think for me, Dolphins as well. I think that's probably my favorite one of the slate. I like the Titans a lot. Chargers, I think we were both on the Chargers for sure. And then 10-point spread, but I do like the Bucs a lot. I think we talked about it, and we just have a lot of love for the Bucs, and don't really have too much confidence in the Falcons. And if I have to pick another, probably either the 49ers or the Vikings. I think both those teams are just going up against bad offenses. So
yeah, you know what? I should pay a little more respect. Oftentimes it's like, I see red on Sundays because the Bears are bad, they're losing, and I'm like, fuck that team. But yeah, I do like Minnesota. And what was the other game you said? The 49ers?
Yeah, 49ers as well.
I like the 49ers. You had a dog pick. My dog pick, I guess Detroit I like as a dog to win
Mm-hmm.
money line, and then I liked Arizona to cover. Did you have any other dog picks today?
I had I had the Arizona one, and then I picked the Bengals. I did pick
Oh yeah,
the Arizona to win. I just
yeah,
think true strong second half. But other than that, definitely went favorites heavy. I did pick Texans to cover the 7 points against Jacksonville, though.
that is right. That is right. And was there any over underlines that you loved, or I don't think there's really any that I would say I love. Maybe yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't have any that I really love. I think the noteworthy one was me going under on the 49ers game
Yeah,
at 40 points, and then I think maybe honestly I hate to say I love an under, but Tampa Bay, I just don't see a way again that the Falcons are going to score, and I don't think the Bucks put up 45 points unanswered. So
yeah. I mean, I guess I like the overs for some reason. The Cincinnati, Ravens, Raiders, Chiefs, and what was the other? Oh, Arizona, Philly.
Arizona, yeah.
Yeah, I like the overs in those games, but I'm not like crazy confident in it.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are probably the ones I'm most confident in them, but I'm not like, I don't know. I'm
Right.
just not like licking my chops at any of these over unders, really.
Hmm. For sure.
Okay, that concludes week 5. If you thanks for tuning in. If you watch the show, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified when we go live. Thanks for joining us, John.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
you hopping
problem.
on. I've got a show next Friday, or sorry, this Friday. We will have UFC back. Maybe Johnny will be on next Sunday. We'll see. And
Yeah.
I think this worked really well. Yeah, so we'll see you on Friday. Have a good Sunday, everyone. Johnny,
Let's make some money.
let's make some money. All right. See ya. So, Johnny,
See.
I'm going to just talk about it on air here. So, I'm going to mute us. Music will play. But thanks for tuning in. This worked out
Yeah,
well.
of course. Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right.